there was never a time I didn't feel that I would be feeling like this. But I think that has to do with this weird obsession of simplicity that I had at a very young age. My mom lost her mom at 5. My dad lost his dad at 15. I would argue that the majority of my childhood, I was scared my parents were gonna die. Yeah. And so every day I was just like grateful that nothing bad happened.
It's all a bonus.
Yeah, and so I think that I was just focused on really heavy shit as a young child. And so, yeah, like I never, ever, this is actually, I don't think I've ever said this. I've never strived for happiness. It's just always been there. You know?
Yeah.
I've never thought in my life, it's just so interesting, this moment's fun for me. I've never had the perspective of like, one day I'll be happy. It's always been, I'll always be happy, no matter what happens. Because every day that I've been given that's been good, is good, like it's good. And I'm ready for adversity, and I'm ready for challenges. This is the key. We started with this, with sports. I lost so much so early, because I played so much and competed so much and got into fights. It was the 80s, we fought in Jersey. I really think that I got fortunate, and I think that that is the driver for me of why I do what I do. There's probably a good mix of guilt and gratitude that makes me want to be Gary Vee for people, because I know how blessed, just like you at 13, when you were somewhere in Asia and you went back to Australia, like, wait a minute, I'm really fortunate. Yeah. I think I've always known that my chemicals were just a little bit more right here. Yeah. I didn't have the physical shit that you had, and the beauty, by the way, and some other stuff.
I would have liked you, no chance.
But this shit,
from the beginning.
Yeah, this shit, like, I've never been confused that I'm in the Hall of Fame on, and this shit. You know, and this shit. Yeah. Those two things, I just think I'm blessed and I'm grateful, and that's how I navigate my life.
So on a lighter note, I know you're into pickleball.
Yes.
But that's not the question. So when you are going to buy the Jets one,
yes,
we know that. What's your first move to get the Lombardi Trophy? Remember, this is going to go a lot of places.
Listen, I'm so prepared for this question. I've been thinking about buying New York Jets since I was probably in 3rd or 4th grade. That was about the time I realized I was unlikely to play for them. Because up until that point, that was the dream. I'm gonna audit the shit of the organization. I'm gonna buy the team, and then the next day I'm gonna meet every person, from the person that's been there for a week, that's in concessions at the stadium, to the person drafting and the general manager, and I'm gonna meet every single person, and I'm gonna do what at that point in 30 years, I'll be 78, I'll do what I've done for the last 55 years professionally, which is audit the human beings that I'm around, and understand, are they good at the craft? But more importantly, are they good in their soul? And I'm going to make decisions based on that audit, and then make some changes, inevitably, build some people up that I see something in that are not in the best place, and double down on the people that I think are wonderful already, and build the most epic, human-based, capable football organization in the world, and that will directly correlate in us winning a Super Bowl.
What a plan.
Yeah, I mean, you know, back to like the whole point of my life, honestly, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna be happy when I buy them. Yeah. Chasing them is everything. Yeah. Like the enjoyment I have right this second, thinking about it, trying it, the business call I had in the parking lot before I walked in, that's important. Yeah. Like, it's all little pieces to get there, but I weirdly think when I get there, I'm already like worried about it.
You'll never stop, your mind.
No, I won't. And I'll obviously care about other things, and I'll be in a different part of my life, the back half of my life, but it's the chase. It's always been the chase for me. The chase is like everything.
And like, how do you balance that with like your normal life? So kids.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like how do you do that?
By not overjudging myself. There is no balance.
True.
Who gets to decide? You?
There's no work.
You, me? Yeah. There's only, there is work-life balance, but it's individual.
Yeah.
For every one of the people that are watching and listening, them and their family today. And then in a year, it changes again. And then 6 months, it changes again. Life moves. What looks like work-life balance. So I'm not trying to achieve work-life balance based on the world's current definition of it. Because 30 years ago, the definition of it was very different than it's gonna be in 30 years. So how do I do it? Intent. I just want to make the people I love as happy as possible to the best of my ability. But I also know that if I don't make myself happy, it's game over.
Well, interesting you said this because I did, I spoke with Jay Shetty and he said that if you don't have time to recharge yourself, you can't make the other people around you, happy at all.
The number one observation I know, and I have a family that's pretty unique. I have plenty of family members that are super, super optimistic and happy, and plenty of close family members who are incredibly cynical and not as happy. And there is just one through line on it all. Whoever likes themselves most is given sunshine, and whoever doesn't like themselves most is given darkness. And so a lot of times people try to do nice by others and don't realize that they're building resentment toward those people, which then flips and then they start going dark. You have to be in a place where you're looking at yourself. The other thing is, most people listening and watching are not gracious enough to themselves. This concept of beating yourself up for what you're not just kills me.
Yeah.
Like, every one of us in this room and everyone listening is good at stuff and not good at stuff.
Yeah.
And why we choose what we put on a pedestal and not, when people are like, you're the great, I'm like, I'm a good businessman, I'm happy, I get it, I'm a good businessman.
You deserve a bit more credit than that.
Yeah, look, I think I have an old soul and I have some wisdom, I get it. But still, like, let's play it out. You and I live a unique life where we are publicly known.
Yep.
And one day, unfortunately, it's gonna be a wrap.
Yes.
And what's gonna happen? We're gonna get 24 hours, if we're lucky, on some love, on whatever social media is on that. Our family will care more for a little bit, but then all of them, family included, are gonna have to wake up in a year, fans in 24 hours, family in 3 to 6 months, and everyone's moving. And so, why I say that is, like, if you're gonna be dead forever, and you weren't born for a long time, and so in this little window that all of us have, why not try to fight for enjoyment? And I'm very passionate about that. I still, to this day, would argue that I try too hard to stay in the dirt. Like, I don't put driver or private or stuff on a pedestal. I put the process on a pedestal. I put kindness and civility to other human beings on a pedestal. Like, I don't mind, I don't judge, or I'm not confused why people want things. I just don't think my life is better with it. I think my time is more efficient.
Yep.
I understand why it's good to have some things for time, which I value, so I understand it. But I don't need anything, Nick. Like, I think that's the thing that I'm spending time thinking about now, is I don't need anything.
I resonate with that. Like, I look back from where I started and now I've got everything I need, and I feel the same way. I don't need anything. Like, sitting here interviewing you and talking with you never thought that would be happening, and it's just, I resonate with it a lot, and it kind of gets my next.
Let's stay on that. Let me ask you a question, just as we chop it up, because since I do a podcast, I know how to do it too. Like, on that note, I believe that most people need stuff for other people, not themselves. I actually think deep down, none of us need anything else. Like, you need a little bit of love in your life. Obviously, you need a roof over your head and some food, but basics.